Picture this, a lone woman washes up on a deserted island. Her name's Jen, and she's out cold. When she finally comes to, she spots her friend Brad nearby, also knocked out. But wait, there's something seriously wrong. Jen rushes over to Brad and gasps. There's a nasty piece of coral stuck in his stomach. She's freaking out, calling for help, but no one's around to hear. Thinking fast, Jen ditches her backpack and life vest, then drags Brad away from the water. She manages to pull out the coral and uses her scarf to stop the bleeding. Desperate to save him, Jen dashes into the forest, grabs a coconut and cracks it open. But when she tries to give Brad the water, it's too late. He's gone. Heartbroken and alone, Jen explores the tiny beach and the thick jungle around it. As she walks, she stumbles on something unexpected. A bag hanging from a tree and a red cooler. Could someone else be here? Jen shouts again, hoping for an answer, but it's just her and the island. Digging through the bag, she finds some old medicine from 1994. Whoever left this stuff is long gone. There are some Coke bottles in the cooler too, but Jen leaves them behind. As she keeps looking, Jen finds more abandoned things. A thermos, a box with cards and matches, even an old tent. Under the tent, there's a backpack with a Game Boy, car radio, book, and a teddy bear. It's like a time capsule from the past. Back on the beach, Jen hears a weird noise coming from a tree. She takes a peek and finds a colorful tropical bird inside. After covering Brad with some leaves, Jen looks around. There's nothing but sand and ocean as far as she can see. That night, it pours rain. Jen has to use some leaves and her jacket as a makeshift shelter. When morning comes, she spots some fish stranded on the beach, but as she's picking them up, she sees something scary. A dead shark ripped in half with huge claw marks all over it. What could have done that? Jen's island adventure is about to get a whole lot wilder. Jen can't stop staring at the ocean, her mind racing about what could have torn that shark apart. She tries to clean the fish she found, but it's not easy without proper tools. Giving up, she heads back to the cooler and plops down. Opening her diary, Jen's heart sinks. The water's washed away all her memories. But wait, there's a photo of her and her boyfriend, a bittersweet reminder of home. Wandering through the jungle, Jen stumbles upon something chilling, a makeshift graveyard for 3 unlucky souls. Spooked, she hurries back to the beach, only to face another grim task. Brad's body is starting to, well, you know. She drags him to the forest's edge, digs a shallow grave, and marks it with a wooden cross. That night, Jen MacGyvers a sleeping spot and enjoys her first island meal, roasted fish. Not exactly 5-star dining, but it'll do. Morning comes and Jen's back to beachcombing, but hold up, Brad's grave is empty. Something's dragged his body away, leaving behind a gruesome scene. Now on high alert, Jen fashions a spear from driftwood. Smart girl. As darkness falls, every snap and rustle has Jen on edge, but the night passes quietly, almost too quietly. The next day brings a splash of hope. Jen spots something bobbing offshore and swims out to investigate. Score, a bucket and suitcase. While diving for more goodies, she notices a mysterious dark hole in the seafloor. Creepy, right? Back on dry land, Jen rummages through her finds. New clothes and sneakers? Yes, please. That night, feeling a bit more human in her fresh duds, she takes another peek in that metal box. Hold the phone. There's a secret compartment. Just as she's squinting at some hidden photos by firelight, Jen hears it. A plane. She scrambles for the flare gun, but it misfires. Second time's the charm, though. As the red light soars skyward, Jen holds her breath. Will this be her ticket home, or just another disappointment on this crazy island adventure? Whoa, talk about a plot twist. Just as Jen's hopes soar with that flare, a creepy humanoid monster crashes the party. She bolts, grabbing her makeshift spear and dashing into the jungle. Smart move, Jen. She hunkers down, barely breathing, as footsteps crunch closer, then fade away. Phew. Come daylight, Jen's back on detective duty. Those mysterious photos, they're family snapshots, with one showing a woman holding a bag by that same tree Jen found earlier. But check this out. 2 weird, shiny dots lurk in the background. Spooky. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Jen tries to MacGyver a raft from Brad's life jacket and the suitcase. Spoiler alert, it's a total flop. Back to square one. That night, Jen turns the hollow tree into her own little panic room, weapon at the ready. But uh-oh, monster's back. It rolls the trunk with Jen inside, but our girl's got nerves of steel. She doesn't make a peep, and the beast eventually lumbers off. Dawn breaks and Jen's got a new plan. She snags a small shark and uses it as monster bait. Talk about fishing for trouble. She keeps watch all night, praying the creature will take the shark and scram, but in the blink of an eye, the shark vanishes. Creepy. Just when you think things can't get weirder, Jen spots a body in the water, and it's not pretty. We're talking sliced in half, face all messed up. In a move straight out of a horror movie, Jen hangs this poor guy up like she did with the shark. Is she trying to lure the monster or send it a message? Either way, this island adventure just kicked into high gear. Night 6 rolls around, and Jen's watching from her hideout as the monster drags the body into the ocean. An airplane hums in the distance, but Jen's frozen. The creature's way too close for comfort. She holds her breath until it shuffles away. Come morning, Jen's got a new trick up her sleeve. She rigs up a tarp high in the trees, hoping for a monster-free snooze, but Mother Nature's got other plans. On night 7, a storm crashes in, lightning flashing. And guess who Jen spots? Yep, the monster, and it spots her right back. Heart pounding, Jen ducks into her net. The monster's not fooled though. It yanks the net, sending Jen tumbling. She grabs her weapon and makes a mad dash for the beach. The creature's hot on her heels, leaping out of the water like some twisted game of tag. Jen's faster, but only just. Suddenly, the monster's towering over her. Jen takes a swing, but it's like hitting a brick wall. The beast tosses her aside, then kicks her into the waves. When Jen surfaces, gasping, the monster's vanished. Talk about a close call. Bruised and shaken, Jen climbs a tree to lick her wounds, but the next morning brings a miracle, an inflatable raft drifting towards the island. Jen can hardly believe her eyes. She swims out and jackpot. It's her boyfriend Lucas and friend Mia. Back on the beach, Jen's practically glued to Lucas. He tells her everything's gonna be okay, but Jen's not so sure. Over a breakfast of vintage soda, fancy, she tries to warn them about the monster. But Lucas and Mia, they're not buying it. They think the island's a tropical paradise. Jen's frustrated. She's seen this thing up close and personal, but her friends think she's lost it. Will they wise up before it's too late? Or is Jen's island nightmare about to get even worse? Oh snap, things just got real. Jen's spilling all the gory details about Zach's fate, and Lucas and Mia look super uncomfortable. Jen's not holding back. She's painting a vivid picture of her island horror show, even whipping out that creepy family photo with the monster's glowing eyes, but her friends, they're still not convinced. Mia thinks there might be something to the graves though. She wonders who dug them. Meanwhile, Lucas and Mia are all, let's just chill and wait for Brad. Jen has to break the news that Brad didn't make it, and the monster dragged him away. Poor Mia's devastated. Later on the beach, Mia opens up about her terrifying time adrift. She thought each day might be her last, going stir-crazy with all that silence. But get this, she'd rather stay on the island than risk the ocean again. Lucas isn't keen on swimming either. Jen's not having it. She's dead set on leaving before nightfall, thinking they should head west where the planes fly. Smart thinking, right? She asks Lucas for his pocket knife to gather some grub for the trip. But hold up, when Jen opens that knife, she spots something that makes her blood run cold, traces of red liquid. Suddenly the penny drops. Something seriously messed up went down on that raft, and her friends are keeping secrets. Jen comes back from her food run, and her friends are acting super sketchy. They're all, nah, we're too tired to swim, and let's just chill and wait for planes. But Jen's not buying it. She tries to talk them into leaving, but Lucas loses it, so Jen decides to pull a sneaky move. She waits for the others to let their guard down, then makes a break for it with the raft. But hold up, Lucas and Mia catch on quick. There's a crazy chase in the water, with Jen kicking Mia away. But then, bam, Mia knocks Jen out cold with an oar. Talk about friendship gone wrong. Jen wakes up tied to a tree. Mia's all, the island's safe, no monsters here. But Jen's not having it. She wants out pronto. Mia brings up how Jen's lied before, so she's not exactly trusty McTrusterson. Lucas shows up from his jungle walk saying it's all clear, but Jen's like, duh, the monster's in the water. Meanwhile, Mia finds some nasty fish remains on the beach. Creepy. Then Lucas drops a bombshell. He tells Jen she makes him miserable and ruins everything. Jen makes one last attempt to reason with Lucas, pleading for her freedom, but he's not budging. Instead, Lucas tries to knock her confidence, insisting she'd be lost without him. He's certain Jen couldn't survive alone if she left. Lucas lashes out, accusing Jen of abandoning him to starve. She counters, pointing out the island's abundant food. The real threat? That blood-hungry beast lurking nearby. Fed up with Lucas's put-downs, Jen decides to uncover Zach's fate on the raft. But before she gets answers, Mia's terrified screams pierce the air. The monster's attacking! Torch in hand, Lucas rushes to help, leaving Jen tied up. He arrives to find a horrifying scene. The sea creature's already feasting on Mia. Lucas takes a swing with his fiery weapon, but the beast easily bats him aside. Meanwhile, Jen struggles free and races to join them. She's too late. The monster drags Mia underwater as a helpless Lucas looks on. Jen grabs the shell-shocked Lucas, and they flee deep into the jungle for the night. Day 9 dawns. Lucas is hesitant to leave their treetop refuge, fearing the monster below. Jen reassures him, noting the creature never appears on shore during daylight. Lucas is racked with guilt over Mia, so Jen suggests packing up to leave the island as a distraction. While prepping to depart, Jen spears some fish and uses their last matches to cook. She takes a final walk through camp, gathering supplies. An expired pill bottle catches her eye, sparking some quiet reflection. Finally, they load up the raft and push off, but a grim discovery awaits, everything soaked in what looks like Zach's blood. Jen eyes Lucas warily, unsure if she wants to know the whole truth. As they paddle westward, hoping to catch a plane's attention, Lucas spots something ominous beneath the waves. Suddenly, the sea monster erupts from the water, launching a fierce attack. The pair huddle inside the raft, but the beast hammers them from every angle. They're terrified. Wasn't this thing supposed to be nocturnal? The monster punches through the raft's bottom, clawing at Jen. She kicks it away desperately. Lucas springs into action, blasting the creature with his flare gun and jabbing it with a spear. The monster retreats, but water's now gushing in. A tense silence follows. Then chaos. The beast snatches Jen, dragging her into the depths. It's a nightmarish shark-human hybrid, pulling her towards a murky abyss. Fighting panic, Jen remembers her pocket knife. She slashes the monster, which recoils, oozing black blood. Lucas dives in to rescue Jen, but the tables turn quickly. The monster grabs him instead, ignoring his spear attacks. It yanks Lucas into the dark hole as Jen watches helplessly. Heartbroken and alone, Jen washes up back on the island. She struggles to light a fire, then pours her harrowing tale into her diary. If she doesn't survive, maybe her words can save future castaways. With grim determination, Jen readies herself for a final showdown. She fashions makeshift weapons from sharpened branches and bones, preparing to face the monster alone. As night falls, the monster emerges to hunt. Jen's ready. She lures it into a ring of dry brush, then sets it ablaze. The confused beast thrashes, giving Jen her opening. She strikes with her spear, then grabs more sharp sticks. The monster hurls her aside, but Jen's relentless. She keeps jabbing, refusing to back down. The beast snatches Jen, squeezing her head in its powerful grip. But even then, she manages to drive a wooden shard into its chest. Both are hurt, yet the chase continues to the shore. Jen stands her ground, preparing for one last stand. Surprisingly, the exhausted monster collapses. Seizing her chance, Jen finishes it off with her spear and beheads it. As dawn breaks, we see a battered Jen limping towards her raft. She carries the monster's head, grim proof of her ordeal. Behind her, the cursed island burns, a beacon for potential rescuers.